In this video, we're going to be having a chat about the recent unemployment rate data, as well as what the RBA might do in August 2025 in terms of making a rate cut decision. Now, my name's Luke. I talk all things real estate, renovating, and financial freedom. If you could do me a huge favor and drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. Now, let's dive straight into today's article. As you can see on screen here, an unemployment rate rises to 4.3% in June. Australia's unemployment rate rose to 4.3% in June, up from 4.1% in May, with news coming after the Reserve Bank surprised markets last week by keeping interest rates on hold. Now, the money markets were expecting that rates were going to be cut at least another 0.25%. I believe the data was around 90 to 93% of economists were believing that rate cut was going to happen last month, and it didn't happen. Now, so many people are focused on, what's happening with unemployment, what's happening with interest rates, because my mortgage is tied to this RBA decision. But in my opinion, should a 0.25% rate cut make your next investment decision? Should it really move the needle in terms of where you're going in terms of your property investing journey? Well, let's read through this article a little bit more, and then I'll share some further thoughts on that. So the sharp rise in unemployment in June makes the RBA's decision to leave rates on hold earlier this month look like a policy error, said a senior economist from Capital Economics. How interesting. According to the Bureau of Statistics data, employment increased by 2,000 people in June, but the number of officially unemployed people jumped by 33,600 people. So since employment plus 2,000 and unemployment plus 33,600 both increased in June, the size of the active labour force grew by 35,600. Now on screen, you can see a chart here of the unemployment rate, and this is the period of COVID. You can see a huge spike in unemployment in that 2021 period, but in the 2016 to 2020 period, you can see where unemployment was sitting between 6 and 5.3%. Now down in 2022, you saw the low of around 3.4% seasonally adjusted, up to now about 4.2 to 4.3. So if we're taking this zoomed out view and we're looking at this chart on screen here, the pre-COVID era of 2016 to 2020 is 5 to 6%, and post-COVID we're sitting from 3 to 4%, and people are calling for another rate cut. I think we're just moving back to normality in terms of unemployment rates and interest rates. And people wanting more cuts is just to fuel the market. The more the RBA cuts rates, the more it's going to put fuel on the fire in terms of property investing and home ownership, because people will be able to get more money from the brokers, more money from the banks, and spend that money on hard assets like real estate and like the stock market. And so a lot of these big calls are from companies that have a vested interest in the market being fueled by fire, by RBA rate cuts. And so that's where people are pointing to, it's 4.3%. Oh, we better cut rates, RBA. It's gone up from 3.5%. But when you go back and look at the historicals, 4.3% unemployment, even if we're up at 5%, is relatively similar to our historical averages. So I think that's quite interesting. These are 4 more charts on screen here, which show you measures of labour market activity. So you can see the participation rate has increased. So of all the people in Australia, we've now got around 67% of all Australians involved in the labour market. There's employment to population ratios, which is at an all-time high essentially as well. The underemployment rate is low relative to historical performance. And then youth unemployment rate has just spiked between March to June. It's jumped from 8.8 up to around 10% or 10.4% in June 2025. So there's, from what I'm seeing, and I'm not an economist, but from what I'm seeing on screen, nothing screams, Australia's in a doom market from a labour point of view. But I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments if you think I'm completely off on that. So again, the RBA's decision to leave rates unchanged felt misguided in the moment and has aged like milk. What a strong comment. The RBA surprised almost everyone by leaving rates unchanged in July. It was the wrong decision at that time, and they surely won't make the same mistake twice. And this is Callum Pickering from Asia Pacific Economist at job site Indeed, said that the RBA's decision to keep rates steady last week was the wrong one. So it's possible that recent weakness in the employment growth is more of a statistical oddity rather than a meaningful shift in labour market conditions. And I think that's probably a better way to summarize it. So is there an interest rate cut on the cards for August 2025. So BetaShares chief economist said it was probably premature to conclude from Thursday's data that employment growth was slowing in a meaningful way, which I would agree based on what we've looked at, the graphs above. Given inherent volatility in the labour market, today's results need to be taken with a grain of salt. We'll need more consistent signs of weakness in both employment and hiring indicators before we conclude the labour market is turning. But if annual June quarter trimmed mean inflation is 2.7% or less, as I expect, it will slam dunk that the RBA will cut rates next month. Well, that's a big call as well. Westpac economist Ryan Wiles said the surge in youth unemployment rate in June helped to drive the national unemployment rate higher, which was that graph we looked at above, which you saw that 8.8 to 10.4% jump over a couple of months. He said while some of it was likely data noise, the magnitude of the latest move raised the risk that total unemployment will grind higher over the rest of the year. 1 month does not mark the start of a new trend, but the latest data raises the question of whether we are starting to see the labour market resume its gradual softening from a year and a half ago, he said. So what does this all mean for you? Unemployment rates have drifted upwards, but really, relative to historical averages, it doesn't seem like a crazy big deal. Some economists are making this a big deal because they want to see a rate cut. There's generally some vested interest if you're an ETF seller or you're a property developer, or depends on what your motives are. There's lots of reasons people want rate cuts. And of course, I'll take a rate cut. I don't mind the banks dropping, another 0.25% off my millions of dollars of debt. But in the big picture, how are you going to make a big impact for your own family and your own investing journey? You're not going to care about this information today, let's be honest. Well, you shouldn't care. And I know a lot of these YouTubers, myself included, make content about interest rates and the RBA decisions because they genuinely get clicks. But in my opinion, you should be more focused on the big picture. Let's say you can get $1 million of debt at 5.8%, but then you can get another $1 million of debt at 6.5%. And then you can get another $1 million of debt at 7.2%. And that weights out to about 6.6 or 6.7% in total across, say, $3 million of debt. And that allows you to hold a $5 million portfolio. I chat to so many people each week who wouldn't take that extra debt because it's another 0.5%, because it's another full percent or 1.5% in terms of the interest rate that they're paying. Now, this is where myself, having a chartered accountant background is a huge advantage because it just comes down to the numbers. If I'm able to get more market exposure in terms of quality assets which have great growth potential, then paying 7% rather than 5.8% is not a big deal to me. And so my highest interest rate is probably up at 7.5%, with my lowest interest rate probably being down at 6.1%. And I would love all of those rates in between to all drop 0.25% if the RBA does a cut in August 2025. But it's not fueling my decision making. These videos I'm making and talking about interest rates is not fueling whether I'm going to build on these sites and develop these 3 properties that I'm looking to build on in the next 12 to 24 months. And it's not going to make my decision making if I make a sale or not. And so I think it's really interesting that people pay so much attention to the RBA and what's the next cut. And am I going to save an extra $500 or $1,500 or $5,000 a month if these cuts come through? Whereas I think you should be focusing on the big picture, buying good quality assets with that 5, 7, 10-year time horizon. And that's where the real wealth and the real money is made. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of the unemployment rates and the RBA's decision to hold rates and whether they're going to cut in August or not? Leave a comment. And if you're interested in buying a property in Greater Brisbane or Southeast Queensland in the next 3 to 6 months, head over to purposeproperty.com.au to book in a chat with myself. Give this video a click too, because that's the one to watch. It really is. So, come on, give it a click. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.